Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day wherever you are in the world. Before we get started, if you can go ahead and that that button, like this video, hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to comment down below. Also hit that bell button to stay notified when I post on YouTube. I post a mixture of gameplays and reaction videos. And make sure you follow me on all social medias, which is down below. And it will also be in my description too. Also, please go ahead and follow me, especially on TikTok because that's where I post the most. And let's get into today's video. So, we are reacting to MojoPlay. Um, I believe Mojo is a very popular brand, YouTube channel. They have different varieties. This one's Mojo plays mainly based off of video games. We are reacting to 10 worst video games, 10 worst games of 2026 so far. I would definitely add in my worst game that I played so far if it's not on this list. And yeah, let's get into today's video. I will put the link of this video in the description below. So yeah.
Here we go.
Welcome to Mojo Plays, and so far 2026 has been one of the best years of gaming this entire generation, but that doesn't mean
true.
there haven't been some duds sprinkled in just to balance things out.
That is also
Playlist is
true.
important. It's a retrospective, greatest hits to accompany our last night together in the Big Suck.
I heard that mixtape was a really good game. What I heard, I need to check out the ratings from IGN and some other place, but this might be on my game list to play this year. I don't know yet, but depending on the ratings.
Greatest hits to accompany our last night together in the Big Suck.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos.
Before we get fully into this video, I would love for you guys to comment down your favorite video game of all time. If you have a list of 5, go ahead and put that down. I will also put my list down below too. I would love to see some games that we might have in common or some games that I probably can add to my list. So please go ahead and add your favorite games of all time. All right.
Marathon.
Your neural interface is malfunctioning.
The name Marathon has history with Bungie as one of the first series that put them on the map before Halo made them a household name. So, the possibility of Bungie returning to Marathon understandably got a lot of fans excited. And what we got instead of the expected solid single-player experience was another pointless live service extraction shooter that no one wanted. Even after much fan outcry and a delay, Marathon still released and was basically already DOA. Surprisingly, the game no one wanted, no one played. It wasn't just the controversy around the title that turned players away, despite the expected...
Okay, before he continues, I hope to not pause so much, but I feel like, I feel like our game developers are trying to take Fortnite and Call of Duty, which is, our two biggest multiplayer shooters that's out at the moment. There's another one that recently came out. It's something Raiders. I don't know the full name, but I know it's have Raiders, the word Raiders in it. I know that one's becoming popular. But I feel like a lot of developers are trying to remake Fortnite and Call of Duty Warzone, specifically Warzone, into their own version of their multiplayer shooters. And let me be honest, that's annoying as hell. Like, I understand y'all can take stuff from different companies and different games and try to kind of make it your own, but that don't always work when you copy and paste and then just basically hide it under a skin, if you get what I'm trying to say.
solid shooter mechanics, Marathon was an overcomplicated extraction shooter in a genre that was already getting oversaturated and done far better by titles like Arc Raiders. The fact that the Destiny series is ending so Bungie can focus on the game that has fewer players than Destiny 2 is just further insult to injury.
Wait, so Bungie, which is the developers for Destiny 2 and Destiny, of course, you're saying you're this? I don't know how true the rumor is or whatever, even if it is a rumor or the truth. But if you're really canceling, shutting down Destiny 2 to focus on this game that nobody wants to play, that's stupid. Because even Destiny 2, for like the older players, I have saw a lot of like people upset that they're stopping developments of new things for Destiny 2. What about a Destiny 3? Because when I worked at GameStop like over 4 to 5 years ago, I think it was like 2021, 2019 to 2021. Destiny was like the biggest thing. Destiny 2 particularly. So why not just make a Destiny 3? I don't know.
Spellcasters Chronicles.
Few possess the gift. And you are one of them.
Another entry, another live service failure. This time from Quantic Dream of all studios, renowned for their choice-driven narrative single-player games, released a free-to-play live service 3v3 action strategy game with MOBA elements and deck-building spells that couldn't get more complicated if they tried. Given the game was basically a kitchen sink of ideas, naturally it had a load of technical issues, and the game's blend of genres never made sense and instead created a confusing experience for the players who even knew the game existed. With so much to keep track of at all times, there were countless balancing problems and so much chaos on screen at any given time, it made simply trying to play the game lead to overstimulation. With a peak of only 888 players on Steam, Spellcasters Chronicles still somehow managed to last longer than the other live service failure entry on our list before being shut
I don't know
down.
why this remind me
Remember,
of
victory
Overwatch.
demands strategy as well as magic. Trust your instincts and let the source guide you. Good luck!
Reloaded.
But we wouldn't be stealing those artifacts for ourselves. They would go back to where they belong, where they were taken from.
Is this the graphics? I'm sorry. This look like PlayStation 2, 3-ish days by the graphics alone. And I know there are like smaller game developers who don't have a lot of like money or the resources, so they do. And I'm not saying that because I have played some newer games that have like graphics like this and they were really good. But I'm like, I don't know.
I'm not going to change your mind, am I?
No.
Reloaded is a game made for all the wrong reasons. Reloaded was designed with an activism first and gameplay second mentality. The premise of African characters stealing or relooting artifacts from museums completely overshadowed the historical research that went into these artifacts and very obviously wasn't focus tested to read the room. Controversy aside, the game just wasn't very good. The gameplay loop is exactly that. You do the exact same thing every single mission with almost no variety whatsoever. Broken gameplay mechanics and loads of technical issues made even the simplest actions even more frustrating, and the bland and overly preachy narrative is delivered by uninteresting characters that are nothing more than archetypes, makes the gameplay issues even more glaring as there's nothing remotely redeeming pushing gamers to keep playing. The heist premise itself had potential, it's just the rest of the game didn't make that the main focus, and the game suffered for it.
Now see, right here looks better.
Shaking ancient artifacts, yeah, well, that's the opposite of preserving them.
The Ninth Charnel.
Where am I?
Ah, you've stumbled into a new corner of the world, my friend.
Proof that horror isn't the easiest genre to develop for, we have the Ninth Charnel. Although impressively created by a solo developer, the scariest thing about the game is the overabundance of bugs and glitches hampering an already mediocre experience. Thanks to busted enemy AI, the mini scares of the game fall flat, and the simple gameplay loop of find the thing becomes incredibly boring incredibly quickly. The ambition of the project clearly got the better of the dev, with the game's presentation wildly inconsistent throughout, and the cringe-inducing dialogue completely robs the game of any horror atmosphere. The entire experience feels half-finished, with none of the elements truly coming together to deliver a true horror or even basic gameplay experience that somehow only being 4 to 6 hours feels too long and more like a proof of concept beta build than a full-priced release.
Still trying to process everything. It's completely understandable. You've been through quite an ordeal.
Tokyo Scramble.
You've got to be kidding me. What is that thing? Those teeth look like they could bite me in half.
When designing a game around stealth, it is imperative that you make that gameplay mechanic functional above all else. However, that's not what happened with Tokyo Scramble. The concept of sneaking past dinosaurs in an underground Tokyo is a novel one and had a lot of potential. That it immediately squandered the minute someone played it. Stealth is trial and error with severe consequences for failure, made even more frustrating by the game's broken and clunky stealth mechanics. The addition of the heart rate monitor becomes more of an annoyance than a gameplay feature, and the game's myriad of technical issues including clunky and awkward animations thanks to the dated graphics and dull, lifeless environments. The inclusion of one of the most bizarre multiplayer modes, where one player controls the camera and the other one the character, just perfectly epitomized everything wrong with this game.
Hey, that's almost like a treadmill. Time to get your steps in.
High Guard.
Here's the axe the Vigil gave you. Now the shop is open. Step right up.
Rightfully dubbed
Just letting you know,
Concord
most of these
2.0,
games they mentioned,
Jeff Keighley can't take all the blame for High Guard's failure.
I have
Even
not,
though his introduction at the Game Awards and
except
being
for
the title's only
Marathon.
hype man
But other
certainly
than
didn't
this,
help
I
the
have
game,
not heard
it was
of them.
disappointing before anyone actually played it. More than anything,
And plus,
High Guard
I
was
don't
the
know if all
victim
of these
of
are console
toxic
games. I
positivity,
only have
with internal reviews
a
propping the
PlayStation.
game up as the next big thing and clearly not undergoing extensive playtesting before release. High Guard was another hero shooter no one wanted, which led to even those who gave it a chance logging off. The entire gameplay loop was just boring. The maps were too large for the game's 3v3 gameplay, and gameplay itself was uninspired and incredibly bland, with only one core game mode that became extremely repetitive. The poor optimization was just the cherry on top that sealed the game's fate, and High Guard was shut down a mere 45 days after launch.
Damn. 45 days? That ain't...
You mess up, you don't get paid.
See, okay, this one I heard about, but, and from like the little clips I saw and looked at, I don't know why I keep looking here. My camera's right here. Hi guys. It looked pretty cool, but I guess because I heard about this on social media for one day. Literally, I saw maybe 4 to 5 clips within that day. So I'm thinking like, oh, it's now in my algorithm. They're going to show me more videos over time. Nope. After that day, it was like, nope.
Floyd, drop around. All right, you get cracking.
Samson had so much potential. The gritty 90s aesthetic and atmosphere was wonderfully realized with incredible visuals and brawler-style combat, and the game was releasing at a discounted price of $25.
Oh.
Even if it wasn't great, it could still be a fun, decent time for the cost, right? Well, yes and no. Unlike a lot of games on our list, the budget price does make suffering through the endless bugs and glitches a bit more palatable, but not by much. The game is marred by severe technical and often game-breaking issues and extremely poor optimization, leading to a massively unstable experience. Gameplay, particularly combat, feels weightless, and the driving physics are somehow just as unimpactful and just as boring. The daily structured gameplay loop becomes tedious and repetitive with limited mission variety and a predictable story. The game was scaled back during development, and it shows with most of the game's mechanics and ideas feeling half-baked or unpolished.
You think we're going to hell,
Samson?
For the things we've done.
Unpolished, and it
You
shows
see,
with
it's
most of the
like,
game's mechanics
I can
and
see he's
ideas feeling
somewhat
half-baked
dodging.
or unpolished.
You think we're going to hell,
Samson?
But it was like,
For the
it's
things
like
we've done.
his hit connect, but it
I know we're not
wasn't
good
no impact.
I know that.
Mixtape.
Oh, this is the
You're
bad
still going
game.
through with this? Afraid so.
Let's get one thing out of the way first. Mixtape is barely a game. Despite the impressive visuals, the gameplay is non-existent. There is not a single fail state in the game, and the game will play itself for large sections of the title and doesn't even have a game over screen. That's not to say you can't still have a decent time with Mixtape, but this very obvious 6 out of 10 experience has been artificially propped up by journalists who can barely play games to begin with, and backed by a multi-billion-dollar safety cushion that also calls into question the game's indie status. Even looking past the lack of gameplay and the game's obvious nostalgia bait, there's very little to like about the game. The characters are uninteresting and most are downright unlikable. And the game's entire narrative plays out like a theater kid's fantasy about an era they never even lived through.
This ain't a catastrophe. It's a warning. Daddy, if you trap me here, this will only be the beginnings of my wicked ways. Because I'm angry and I'm wired and I'm fixing for a whole lot of trouble.
1348 ex voto.
That acting was not good. Like, the voice acting is not good.
Daddy, if you trap me here, this will only be the beginning.
Like, you know, when people do voice acting, of course they're like reading off of a script, right? But I don't know if it's just me. I do pay attention to people's voices, but it looked like she's literally, if you trap me here, this will be the only the whatever. It's just like I can tell she's reading directly from the script instead of putting her own emotions in it. That's me personally. I don't know.
Things of my wicked ways. Because I'm angry and I'm wired and I'm fixing for a whole lot of trouble.
1348 ex voto.
I am not Bianca. I am Mordred. And you are Arthur. Fight or yield.
If you're going to pick a fight with the gaming community, at least make sure your video game is up to the challenge. 1348 ex voto promoted itself as an authentic medieval experience, but was clearly punching above its weight class. Fights in 1348 feel clunky, dull, and broken all at the same time, with a broken targeting system, repetitive enemies, and a painfully shallow combat loop. The camera constantly searches for a better game, and balancing issues along with the extremely linear path makes the entire game an exercise in frustration. Everything about 1348 ex voto is as vapid and lifeless as its characters.
I don't appreciate that. I don't. I'm sorry. I don't.
1348 ex voto is as vapid and lifeless as its characters. The narrative is a complete mess with a disjointed and messy story with characters that make bizarre and illogical decisions with no emotional weight or payoff. 1348 ex voto is now most notable for breaking Jennifer English's voice acting Game of the Year winning streak.
What choice did I have? I had nothing. Would sacrifice everything.
Code Violet.
I'm sorry for what I put you through.
I don't understand.
Fans have long been asking for Dino Crisis to make a comeback, and although it advertised itself as such, Code Violent ain't it. If you know anything about Team Kill Media's previous titles like Quantum Error, you can see where this is going. Outside of the main character's assets, nothing in Code Violet is functional. Combat is incredibly frustrating and broken due to unresponsive controls, bizarre animations, and camera angles, but is still somehow better than the long since extinct AI of the dinosaurs. Technical issues result in constant crashes, broken items, glitches, and that's even if you manage to survive the monotonous exploration and bland and tedious level design. And this is still after numerous patches. The absurd narrative doesn't even make sense and is delivered with all the intensity of a daytime soap opera. Code Violet isn't just the worst game of 2026 so far, it's likely one of the worst games this generation.
We did everything for you. We were a family. Everything I wanted.
What has been the worst game you've played in 2026 so far? Share your experiences in the comments. Did you enjoy this video? Check out.
Okay, that's the end of the video, guys. Yeah, I haven't heard of any of them games, but Marathon and Mixtape. And plus, I don't have a PC, so I don't look at the Steam and like, um, what's the other one? Epic. I don't look at none of them. So, but yeah, I can see why these are the worst games. But for me, I'm gonna be honest. The worst game that I played this year was, and I love this franchise, was Life is Strange Reunion. And let me tell you why. It's because, hold on, because I feel like there was just, I feel like they rushed this game, and there was missing pieces to the story. I'm not gonna spoil it if you haven't played. I do prefer the other four over this one. That's just my personal view. But yeah, that will be considered the worst game I played. Is Life is Strange Reunion. But yeah, but like I said, I am currently playing 007 First Light, which is an amazing game. Want to end on a happy note. Amazing game. And I think if you haven't played it, you should go and play it today, tomorrow, and yesterday, because that game is an amazing. Also, I am recording it, so there's about 4.5 episodes of that gameplay on my YouTube channel right now. So please go check it out, and I'll see you back for another video. But before we go, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that bell button to stay notified of when I post on YouTube. Don't forget to follow me on all social medias, especially TikTok, because that's where I post the most. And I'll see you back for another video. Bye.